adding integers. Today is all about subtracting integers. We've introduced you to subtracting integers through notes, and we did a number line activity on Friday. We also did yesterday, we did the counter activity. Today we're just going to basically be focusing on the rule. What is it that we say when you subtract integers?
Keep, change, change.
Keep, change, change. Everybody tell me what that is again?
Keep, change.
Say it together. Ready?
Keep, change, change.
Okay, you have to write it on here. Write it in your book. Keep, change, change. The more you write it, the more you say it, the more you'll remember it. Better go get your book. So let's look at a real world example for diving. The platform on a diving board is 3 meters high. The actions of a diver climbing up to the diving board platform and diving 1 meter below the water surface are shown on the number line at the right. This is a vertical number line, but we have been using a horizontal number line. It's the same type of thing. We have clue words in here. It's 3 meters high. Circle the clue words. The actions of the diver climbing up. Underline climbing up. And diving 1 meter below. So as we did on Monday, we started at 0 and we go up to the 3 because it's 3 meters high. Then I'm at the 3 meters high and I'm going down 1, 2, 3, 4. Circle where you landed. Okay? He landed at -1, but he went down 4 places. So it says, here's our subtraction equation. 3 plus 4 equals a -1. It's asking us to write a related addition sentence. That's when we change it to the keep, change, change. So I'm going to look at it, keep the 3. So write the 3 on the line. Change subtraction to addition. Change the +4 to a -4. And it equals -1. Hold on a minute though. We're going to write underneath here. It's 3. How do I know that it's a -1? Because you take then the rules of addition. One's negative, one's positive. So you subtract. 4 minus 3 is 1. Take the sign of the bigger number. Always say those steps with it as well. Not just the keep, change, change, but the rules of adding integers. Go ahead and look at number 2. It says to use a number line to find 1 minus 5. So I start at the 0 and I go up to what? 1. Draw that on your number line. From here I start at the 1 and I'm going to go backwards how many?
5.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm stopping right there. Here is my answer. A -4. So it says the difference is a -4. We're going to go back up to the original problem. We want addition sentence. So we're going to keep the number 1. Change subtraction to addition. Change the +5 to a
-5.
and write it down. And make sure when you're putting that in it as a -5 that you have it in parentheses.
Why?
Because you can't have a plus and a negative.
Because you can't have the plus and the negative.
It will confuse you.
Everybody got it?
Make sure you're turning the page. 216. So it says to subtract an integer, add its additive inverse. Can somebody tell me what additive inverse means in your own words? What do we say, Caitlin?
Zero
I'm sorry?
pair. Like a 0 pair.
That's, it's not the 0 pair. Additive means to do what? What's my math term in there?
Addition.
Anybody? Add. And inverse is the
Opposite.
opposite. Nice try though. So we're adding, and you're writing this down. The opposite. I spelled that wrong. So if we're adding the opposite, that's like saying P minus Q, you keep the P. And then we're gonna add, what's the opposite of a positive Q? A negative Q. So they can give it to you with variables. So we have 4 minus 9 is the same as saying 4 plus a negative 9. Keep, change, change. So another, and the answer would be a negative 5. Another example is 7 minus a negative 10. Keep, change, change. It's adding the opposite, which the answer is 17. When you subtract 7, the result is the same as adding its additive inverse. Now the additive inverse is the opposite. That's where we get our zeros and our zero pairs, okay? Like, because it's just going to be adding the opposite, okay? So if I have on the number line 6 minus 7, I'm at 0, I go up to 6. I'm going to subtract 7, so I'm going to start at the 6 and I'm going to go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 places, and there's my answer. So let's look at some examples. And when I show you these examples, we are going to write all over the book, and you're going to write all over the numbers, and you're going to write in different spots. Because I don't like how they show it to you. It says find 8 minus 13. They're rewriting it here, and they're saying equals 8 plus a negative 13. I want that to go directly underneath. So if you have this area here, or this area here to write in. So we're going to write the original problem, 8 minus 13. So we're going to write 8 minus 13. We wrote the original problem. You're writing it somewhere in your book, here or there. Okay? You good?
Yeah.
Okay. So then we're going to say keep the 8, change the subtraction to addition, change the positive to a negative. So instead of writing it off to the side, we're just going boom, right down underneath of it. So we started with our subtraction problem. We created an addition problem. Once we create an addition problem, you follow the addition rules. One's positive and one's negative, so we subtract. So what's 13 minus 8? 5, and that would be, then I go back and I look, is it going to be positive or negative? Negative, because the 13 is greater. So negative 5 is your answer. But do you see we have line 1, line 2, line 3. I'm going to be looking for those lines. A negative 7 minus 7. I'll write it over here in this empty spot. Negative 10 minus 7. I rewrote the original problem. What do? We
Keep, change, change.
keep, change the subtraction to addition, change the positive to a negative. Follow the rules of adding. Both of them are the same sign, so we just add. So 10 plus 7 is 17, and you keep the same sign. So it's negative 17. Let's do another example here, down with the got it problem. Got it number A. If they already have the original problem and I can write underneath of it, do I need to rewrite it?
No.
No. Let's just make our addition problem. Keep, change, change. One's positive, one's negative, so I'm going to subtract. 12 minus 6 is 6, and I keep the sign of the bigger number. Go ahead and do B and C. on and go over these. You had to rewrite it. Keep the negative 20. Change the subtraction to addition. Change the positive 15 to a, and you need to make sure you have it in parentheses. If you don't, put it in parentheses. Then they are both negative, so we just add. 20 plus 15 is 35, and I keep the sign. So negative 35 is your answer. Keep a negative 22. Change the subtraction to addition.
And change the sign.
Change it to negative. Put it in parentheses. Let's say you get to some of these problems and you can't do that addition in your head.
You write it out.
Write it out. There's no big deal if you had to write it out.
48.
I get 48, so I'm going to put 48. And I keep the same sign where it's negative. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the top of the next page.
I have a question.
Yes, dear.
When it said, for the example 2, why did we put negative 17 when that's not the sign? Oh, wait, that is, oh, never mind.
Okay.
Sorry.
Nope, you're good. I like questions.
I didn't realize that that was a negative.
Nope, you're good. We're gonna do like we did before. I know hey, they give us the answer. We better come out with the answer of 3. Okay, they're giving us this example, but I want to see you rewriting it over here. So you're gonna rewrite 1 minus a negative 2. That's the original problem. Then you're gonna write underneath of it, keep, change, change. Change the subtraction to addition, change the negative to a positive, and this is just 1 plus 2, which is 3.
We got it right.
We're gonna do number 4. Negative 10 minus a negative 7. Keep the negative 10, change subtraction to addition, change the negative to a positive. Now I have a negative number and a positive number.
Subtract.
So we subtract. 10 minus 7 is,
Negative 3.
and I'm gonna keep the sign of the bigger number. So it's negative 3. One more example together. Do I really need to rewrite this one? No, I can write right underneath of it. So I keep, change subtraction to addition, change the negative to a positive, and 4 plus 12 is 16. Go and do E and F. Do E and F. Okay, so we've got a keep, the negative 15, change subtraction to addition, change the negative 5 to a
Positive 5.
positive 5. We have a negative and a positive, so we're going to,
Subtract.
what's 15 minus 5?
10. Keep the sign of the bigger
10,
number.
keep the sign of the
Bigger number.
bigger number. Keep the 18, change subtraction to addition, change the negative to a,
Positive 6.
now, if you don't know 18 plus 6, can you go 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23? Can you do that and use your fingers?
Yeah.
Yeah, or you can even line it up. What's 18 plus 6?
24. Would be an educated
Is
student.
it gonna be, they're both positive, so it has to stay positive. The next few examples, we're following the same rules, everything that we've been doing. The only thing that's different is that we're going to be adding some variables. We're gonna be adding some letters. Don't let that make it hard for you. Okay? If it says evaluate x minus y, if x equals a negative 6 and y equals a negative 5. I know they gave us answers here. but we're gonna rewrite it over here. You have to start with writing x minus y, so you're gonna write it. Then I need to find out what does x equal? It's a negative 6, so I'm going to bring in a negative 6 for x. Bring down the subtraction problem. Then y is a negative 5. So I have to put in a negative 5. Quite often, people want to just put in a 5 because they think that that subtraction sign is going to be for the negative sign. It's not. So then we do the keep, negative 6, change the subtraction to addition, change the negative to a positive. One's negative, one's positive, so we
Subtract.
6 minus 5 is 1, and it's going to be negative because 6 is greater. You have to write out the problem, insert your numbers, then do the keep, change. Let's do another one. M minus n. I'm going to write that off to the side. M minus n. M is a negative 15, so I just plug it in, a negative 15. Notice I keep going underneath everything. Minus, n is an 8, so I just put in a 8. Then it's keep the negative. Change subtraction to addition. Change the positive number to a negative. If both of them are negative, we are just going to, and what's 15 plus 8?
23.
And is it going to be positive or negative?
Negative.
Negative.
You change. So what?
Keep the negative
Okay.
number, change subtraction to addition. This is a positive 8, so it needs to be changed to a negative 8.
Oh my god.
And now we're adding, and the rule with adding, if they have the same sign, you just add and keep the sign.
Okay, so.
Nope. B, minus 10. I don't really have to rewrite it because I can put all my numbers underneath of it. So B is a negative 8, so I'm going to put a negative 8 under B. I'm going to bring down my subtraction and leave the 10. Then I'm going to rewrite it. Negative 8, keep, change subtraction to addition, change that positive 10 to a negative 10. They are the same sign, so I'm just going to add, and I get 18, and then I keep the sign. Go ahead and do H and I. Go ahead and do H and I. Okay, eyes on me. A is 5, so I put a 5 in. Leave the subtraction. B is a negative 8, so you have to put in a negative 8.
Change.
Then you do keep, change subtraction to addition, change the negative to a positive.
13.
Then that's just 5 plus 8, which is
13.
13. C is a negative 9, so I'm going to just put in a negative 9. Minus
5.
A is a positive 5. Keep the negative 9. change subtraction to addition, change the positive to a negative. They're the same sign, so I'm just going to add and get 14 and keep the sign. We have one more example today, and this one's we're gonna end on a story problem.
Oh,
Story
yay.
problems are where some of you guys, or many people, not just you guys, they make mistakes.
Everyone
Because they
makes
don't,
mistakes.
well, and we all know I make definitely my fair share of mistakes.
Yep.
And we all make mistakes, but so just really pay attention to when you get a story problem, really pay attention to those clue words, okay? Underline them, circle them, do something to pull them out so you know that that's a clue word. So number 7 says the temperatures on the moon vary from a negative 173 degrees to 127 degrees Celsius. Find the difference between the maximum and minimum temperatures. What are my clue words that I need to circle? There's more than one. Holly, what's one?
Lower and higher.
Good. Okay, but that wasn't in the story problem. I want to look at the story problem. There's words that do mean something like that. Did you find them? Yeah, what were they, bud? Excellent. Maximum and minimum. Maximum would be the largest, right? Minimum would be the smallest. Circle those. And there's one more clue word. Difference. Whenever I see difference, I know I need to do what mathematical procedure?
Subtraction.
Subtraction. So I'm subtracting the maximum from the minimum. Again, it gives us answers here. We could read it and find the answers, but we need to go through it together. Maximum number, is it a negative 173 or a 127?
Negative.
It is not the negative.
No, I looked at it.
Be careful. It is the 127. Subtracting a negative 173. Okay? Then we're going to keep, change, right? They're both positive, so what am I going to do to my numbers? Add. These are 3-digit numbers. Can you do that in your head?
No.
Well, some of you could, but guess what? When you can, you're going to find a lot of room for error. So write it up and down. 127 plus 173.
200.
7 plus 3 is 10. Leave the 0, carry the 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 plus 7 is 10.
I knew it.
300
I was close enough.
is 300 is your answer. Many of you wanted to look and say, oh, 173 is what I write first. Because that looks like the bigger number. It's not when it becomes a negative. Your positive will always be greater. So let's do one last example. Brenda had a balance of a negative $52 in her account. The bank charged her a fee of $10 for having a negative balance. What is her new balance? How do we figure that out? She starts with a negative 52, right?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
So she has a negative 52, and then
Uh-huh.
they take, like they charge her 10 more for having that, so it'd be negative 62.
So they're adding another negative, right? Because a fee would be a negative $10.
Yes.
So if we have two negatives, it's just going to be a negative $62. Okay? Katie, you can go ahead and